And I think I fixed the comments issue. S6, right. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about anything with the stuff we've been looking at with the notes or the practice problems or anything like that. All right, cool. This should work better now. Yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well and hope you and your family are safe. Yeah, you should be able to send me comments now, though. It looks like it should be working. It's very awkward. This whole crisis is like the first time I've ever learned how to upload things onto YouTube. I've always just been a YouTube watcher, not a YouTube creator, so it's strange. So yeah, so let me know if you have any questions about anything. Oh, okay. Thanks, John. Yeah, I'm on my laptop right now, but maybe I thought you could look at comments on your phone if you were observing it, though. From yesterday's worksheet. Oh, so those problems here, let me get one moment, guys. I don't know if this is going to affect it at all, but here, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, so I was gonna post yesterday's worksheet. That must be the Graham's Law, Dalton's Law worksheet. I was gonna post some of those solutions, probably like once we're done with the notes on Tuesday. So yeah, we're gonna finish the notes on Tuesday. By the way, I already published them on Canvas, but you just can't access them until probably Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, there's a few different ones. So I have 1 and 3 on here right now. And so with problem number 1, looking at the Dalton's law of partial pressures. One moment. Excuse me. So with that, it's kind of a nice, out of all these gas laws, it's probably the simplest one because it's just a sum. You just have the total pressure equals all these individual pressures added up. So the total pressure we saw was 1 atmosphere, right? So sorry if this is kind of hard to view, but that's my work for the first problem, right? So the total pressure is 1 atmosphere, but then the pressure of water vapor I was given as torr, or millimeters of mercury. So one common mistake I saw is people didn't convert them to the same unit. You could make them both atmosphere or you can make them both torr. It's up to you. I don't think it's specified a preference of like what's the pressure in this unit. So as long as they're the same unit, you're fine. I just converted it to atmosphere, right? So I ended up having my torrs cancel because the conversion unit, we already saw this in class, by the way, when we were still in class in person. 1 atmosphere equals 760 torrs, right? So you want the torrs to cancel, so that goes down there. You get your atmosphere, and this is the pressure of the water vapor just in atmospheres, right? So it's a much smaller number because 1 atmosphere equating to 760 torr, the magnitudes are very different. So you can get a smaller number for atmosphere, right? And yeah, so it doesn't always have to be, I think in the notes, it was like the total pressure is pressure A plus B plus C. Like I said, there could be 2 gases, or there could be 50 gases. There could be a lot of gases there. So it's just how much are applicable in the problem. So yeah, just trying to make sure I'm pointing to the right things here. So yeah, the total pressure is the pressure of H2O plus oxygen. Yeah, oxygen. So you want to get oxygen by itself, right? So just subtract H2 on both sides. So I solved for it in atmospheres. So if you wanted to, you could have converted 1 atmosphere to torr. It would have just been 760 then. But yeah, so you could have done it either way. I have number 3 down here too. Yeah, number 3. So number 3, Graham's law is when it's a little bit trickier, typically. Now let's see. So first you want to get the molar mass of these things, right? So I just went step by step. The molar mass of CO2, 12 for carbon plus 2 times 16. So you get 44. It's so weird looking at this backwards. It looks like a 5, not a 2 on my end. And the mass of oxygen, ozone, by the way, ozone, sorry, not oxygen, is 3 times 16, so 48, right? And so the one thing they wanted us to figure out how much faster one gas is than the other. And so we know that the heavier gas is going to be slower, right? And so it looks like ozone, right? Ozone is a little bit heavier. It's 48 grams compared to 44. Right, and so because of that, I just put ozone as the mass in the numerator of that equation. Right, so here's Graham's law. I put the mass of ozone in the numerator. That way the velocity of ozone would be down here, because again, they're not going to be exactly the same horizontal. It's VA over VB is equal to the square root of MB over MA, right? So basically, I knew that the heavier element was going to be, or sorry, the heavier compound or substance would have to be slower. And so I put ozone up here. I put CO2 down there. That way ozone would have a velocity down here, and CO2's velocity is going to be up here. That way when I try to get the velocity of the faster substance, which is on the numerator up here, I just have to multiply the velocity of ozone on both sides, which I did down here, right? So put it in the square root, 48 over 44. Right, so you put that in the calculator, you get something like this, right? And then you just multiply both sides by the velocity of ozone. So I kind of put the rest of it down here. I was going to post these later on, by the way, so you'll see this next week. But yeah, the velocity of ozone is 1.04 times faster than the velocity. Sorry, the velocity of CO2 is 1.04 times faster than the velocity of ozone. I saw a lot of you guys got that too, so that was nice. So yeah, that's just the thing you have to remember, is that the velocity of A is up here, the molar mass of A is down there, and vice versa. The same for B, right? Yeah. Any other questions about just the stuff from today or past couple days or anything? Just let me know. I don't play Fortnite, but I haven't really played video games in a while. When I was younger, I liked StarCraft. That was pretty fun, but I don't know if it's able to be played on like newer computers or not. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you need help with anything else or have any other questions at all. Hello, Mohammed. So yeah, gas laws, it's kind of a shame that this is happening right now, because this is like my favorite unit. Just in terms of all the demos we could do in the labs, it's a lot more of a visual unit. Unfortunately, I don't think our department has a vacuum, what's it called, a vacuum pump or a bell chamber. But one of the videos I sent on Canvas, you should check it out. On today's notes, there's like a bunch of videos down there. But one of them is cool when they use that vacuum pump, and they literally vacuum out all the air inside of the container, and shows objects that have gas within them, like shaving cream, marshmallows, bags of chips, whatever, start to inflate. So it's a cool unit. It's a lot more like visual. Some of the labs are cool, so it's a little bit of a shame that we can't really do these hands-on labs now that this is happening, but it's okay. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. So Issa, with your question, for the Dalton's law problem, you just needed really to make them the same unit, the one I was looking at, number 1 up here. So they could both be atmospheres, which is what I did, or you can make them both torr. It's up to you. We're going to look at the ideal gas law. Tuesday, yeah, because Monday we're just gonna have like a little short quiz on some of this stuff. And so Tuesday we're gonna start looking at the ideal gas law, and it puts pressure, volume, temperature, and moles all together. And there's one constant in the equation, and depending on what's the word I'm looking for? Depending on what constant you're given, that's going to tell you which unit to have your pressure value in, right? So basically, we really are only going to have two constants we're going to look at. I think just one that has atmospheres in it and one that has torr. But basically, yeah, they just need to be consistent. So for example, for today, we're looking at probably Boyle's law. All right, so yeah, this is for today. So for Boyle's law, right, P1 times V1 equals P2 times V2. You just need to make sure they're the same unit, basically, right? So if they say, oh, the initial pressure was 1 atmosphere, but the final pressure is 500 torr, you just got to convert one of them, basically. So let's make them the same unit, pretty much. But yeah, we're going to have a quiz on Monday. It's just going to be some of the introductory stuff in the gas notes, so kinetic molecular theory, like just definitions of temperature, pressure, and stuff like that, as well as Graham's law and Dalton's law. I think it's just one of each for Graham's law and Dalton's law, and then there might be a couple questions of like converting pressure units and converting from Celsius to Kelvin. But none of the notes from today are going to be on it, so no Boyle's law, no Charles' law, no Guy-Lussac's law. But yeah, so I'm going to have the quiz on Canvas. So I'll try to from now on, just because I was made aware that if you might not have Microsoft Office. So if I put a Word document on there, you might not be able to see it. So I'll try to put both a Word document as well as a Google Doc from now on, just to kind of give you both options. But I'll put the quiz up there on Monday, so it'll be on Canvas. And kind of like usual, you can either type in your work in the entry box, or you can do another sheet of paper and take a picture of it. I know it's not ideal, but with the way we have to do things online now. So yeah, we'll do it that way. And so basically, I'm grading the work on completion, except for quizzes and tests. So quizzes and tests, I do grade on right or wrong answers. However, you can basically retake it more than one time if you would like to. So I know before I said you can only retake quizzes or tests one time. I don't mind if you want to retake them more than one time at this point, just because of how crazy things have been. And I know some people haven't even looked at Canvas yet because maybe they don't have internet access or something. So I guess we just have to be flexible. So yeah, you can retake it more than once, but we'll have that on Monday. It'll be on Canvas. And I'm going to try to make due dates later. So like all the work I've been giving you guys so far, it's not due this week, it's due at the end of next week. And for the work I'm going to give you guys next week, I'm probably going to give you guys like a little bit extra cushion time as well, just in case, I don't know, you're watching your siblings or something like that. Because I know all of our schedules and lives have definitely shifted a bunch. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Dylan. It will be on Canvas. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'll probably stay on for another maybe 7 to 10 minutes. So I'll probably have to go to the store in a little bit. I haven't been to the grocery store since Saturday, so I'm kind of scared to go back. I'm not sure if it's like insane madhouses or not. Yeah, hope you guys have enough bread and milk and toilet paper and all that stuff. I think that we're on pace with the schedule, everybody. With Muhammad, with your question, I think we're, for the most part, we're kind of maybe, if you're talking about the schedule of our class and like the units, we're kind of on track. Maybe a couple, yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 days behind, but at the same time, it's sort of on track because if anything, there's just certain things we're going to have to kind of cut out. Like, if we do anything that's lab related, it'd have to be something more online, like maybe a short gizmo activity or something like that, because we don't have any of those hands-on labs. So the fact that we're not going to be able to do any of those hands-on labs that kind of, gives us some time just because we can't do those assignments. So we're maybe just a little bit behind, not too much, but we're almost done with this unit basically. Well, let's use during our quiz. So John, with your question, yeah, I'm not really gonna say like it's open notes or anything, but I mean, obviously I'm not there. I can't really control things, right? So I'm over here virtually. But yeah, like I said, the quiz is the only thing I'm gonna be. The quizzes and tests are the only thing I'm gonna be great on right or wrong answers. But you can retake it more than once. You can retake it like 2 or 3 times if you want to. So, so yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, so I'm not gonna just I'm not gonna officially say it's open notes or anything like that. But again, I can't really control all that stuff anyway. So times, I don't think so. I'm probably just gonna, like I said, just have the document up there that you guys have to work on, just because, yeah, I'm maybe in the future I might do something like that, but for now I'm just kind of easing into it. I've been using Weebly this whole time, so I'm actually getting acquainted with Canvas through all of this stuff right now for the first time, just because I'm used to using Weebly. I decided to completely switch to Canvas just because of copyright issues too. I guess since Weebly is accessible to anyone, and every now and then I do get like worksheets and stuff from other people, so I just don't want to get in any illegal trouble for that. So, but yeah, so I'm just kind of getting used to Canvas right now. We might maybe do something like that in the future, but for now, it's for the one Monday, anyways. It's not going to be timed. So, push more than once. We're able to change age like 100. Theoretically, yes, you could take it multiple times and just keep seeing if it can improve at all. Most managers have cut down the work to about 1 per weeks. That's a good question. That's kind of a weird thing, Mohammed. Because yeah, it's all over the world. This is happening, so it's definitely slowing down academics, especially if I don't think any maybe I don't think I have any seniors that are in chem. Correct me if I might be wrong. But especially if you're a senior, for example, it's very difficult. But yeah, I think just all over the world, it's kind of going to be at a slower pace for right now. So as far as grad requirements and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry about it. There's a couple of letters that I know the superintendent, Dr. Jim Elsasser, emailed to your parents or guardians that kind of talk about how that stuff's going to work. So I wouldn't worry too much about being eligible for graduation and things like that. There's going to be a lot more leniency as far as what's it called? As far as lost my train of thought. There's going to be a lot more leniency as far as just how you're going to be graded, right? So, because some of these students, they don't even have internet access or access to a computer or anything like that, and legally, there's some issues if we just automatically give them an F because they don't have internet access. So it's kind of complicated. Virtual labs that we have to perform and take a video of the student. I'm not sure, John. Maybe later on down the line, but for right now, I'm kind of taking it easy. It would be cool. It would be a cool idea to do like a lab where you're kind of doing it on your own and taking a video of it. That sounds fun, but just again, it's kind of me making an assumption that all the families out there can afford to go out and buy lab materials, because if you're going to do something like that, you'd have to have lab materials. So some families maybe they're trying to work on just like they haven't been going to work for a while, so they're probably struggling financially, and that'd be asking a lot for them to go out and get materials for lab stuff. That would be a cool idea, but especially for right now, anyways, I'm probably not going to do anything like that anytime soon. If anything, I feel like maybe I should. I've been trying to not post too much work, but if anything, maybe I'm posting even a little bit more than I should. So I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more space and a little bit more time to do this stuff, and hopefully they haven't been too long or anything like that. But yeah, I'll try to see if I can save that. I think YouTube automatically saves these things, these streams. So yeah, I'll see if I can try to do that. Just double checking if I missed any questions. But yeah, do you know what we would do if the first contact for next year? To be honest, I'm not sure. Yeah, because I know that the government's been talking about plans to put in place in case this goes on 16 months, but that's still hypothetical. It's still just in case. So who knows? Hopefully, I mean, I know a lot of these pandemics and viruses, they start to die away during the summer. Excuse me, when it gets hotter. But I know Australia's summer just ended, and I think it's still an issue over there. So I don't. Hopefully, it starts to die down though during the summer, and then hopefully Ryan next semester will be kind of like the way it was a week ago, back to normal. But yeah, with both your question, Mohammed's question about how it's affecting academics, by the time, I mean, it depends on how long this lasts. I guess it's really outside of our control, obviously. But eventually, when you do have to take harder classes, maybe when you're a senior, or even when you go to college and you're taking some classes, I'm assuming professors, teachers are going to take this into consideration and be like, oh, there might be some gaps of knowledge. Maybe they didn't have time to cover everything because it was an online course. So maybe they didn't have time to get to, like, for example, I usually like to end the chemistry course, the very last unit of a min unit on OChem, organic chemistry. It's not really required, but I just like to give you guys a sneak peek at it in case you want to do AP or in case you want to do chem in college. The way things are looking at, we might not have time for that. We might have to end it with like acids and bases or something. But yeah, I'm assuming professors and teachers are going to be much more considerate about, hey, this happens, for a long time, especially if it does last like 16 months. Hopefully not, but especially if it does last, a long time, I'm assuming they'll take that into consideration. And luckily, it's hopefully not just going to be us. It's not like, the United States is going to be behind or anything like that, because it's happening all over the world. So we're all just kind of like putting the brakes on a little bit. What was I going to say? Who knows? I'm sure there might even be some sort of legal thing that happens. Maybe some sort of law that passes talking about how, I'm not sure. There's something grade related though, and how you can't penalize people in case they just couldn't learn something during that time because of all the stuff going on. Yeah. So I'll probably stay on here for a couple more minutes. Yes, let me know if you have any questions. Just double checking some other things on Remind. Okay. Yeah, and if you have any trouble uploading an assignment on Canvas, some students have even just sent it to me on Remind, like just taking a picture and sent it on Remind. I don't mind doing that. Oh, he's over here. He's sleeping. Hey. Hey, Kitsy. Yeah, he's not super lively. She's looking at me like, why did you disturb me? For the gas laws, what can we do if a printer is unavailable? The printer is unavailable. Well, yeah, you don't have to print anything out, really. Are you talking about just for the worksheet? Is that what you're talking about, Issa, like the homework? Because if you want to, you can also just try to put it in the text box. If you can possibly just show at least a little bit of work, I mean, I'll be lenient. You won't have to show like every single step by step, but at least maybe just show a little bit of work if you can. I know it's hard to do that typing, but yeah, the text entry box should still be an option. This is kind of fun though. I never knew I'd end up doing a live chat one day. It's kind of random. Yeah, there's definitely some silver linings, I suppose. I mean, easier to be said from my perspective. I haven't had any family members suffer from this virus or anyone I know or I'm close to suffer from it or anything like that. But there's been reports that pollution's definitely gone down in the country since less people have been working, especially from China. I think there's been a drastic decrease in pollution from China. Um, so this, some of these things are just outside of our control, obviously. But it's kind of maybe just like the planet just trying to get us to sort of take a pause. And a lot of times we always think about things we wish we could do, but we don't have enough time. And this is hopefully giving us a little bit more time. You can read the fastest. Yeah, I'll probably be on here for a couple more minutes. Just let me know if you have any questions about anything. I don't know if you can really measure how fast you can read. I mean, you can do that with typing, but I don't think you can really like accurately measure and compare how fast people can read. I don't know if that's possible. I'm confused by your comments, so I'm just gonna remove them. Sorry, sir. I don't like your name, so I'm just gonna. Ooh, no. Okay, cool. Oh, I don't know. I've never tried to figure out how fast I can type. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I was never much of a person to try to speed read. I guess the fastest I've read a book was in 5th grade when I discovered The Fellowship of the Ring. I read The Fellowship of the Ring in like maybe 4 days, but yeah, I'm not like a super fast reader. That's the nice thing actually about the quarantine is I have a lot of books on my shelf I've been wanting to read. I have a couple biographies that I want to read, a couple of Dostoevsky books I've been wanting to read. My little sister, she's actually a senior in high school. She doesn't go to Claremont, but she's been trying to get me into Fyodor Dostoevsky, so I have a couple of his books that just kind of gathering dust right now. So a lot of good stuff to read. Yeah, I'll probably stop in like a minute and 15 seconds once it gets to 30 minutes. Just let me know if you guys have any other pressing questions. I'll probably see if I can do this maybe once a week or something. No, I don't. I'm learning Spanish, but yeah. I took Spanish in high school and it was my hardest class. Yeah, 'cause Spanish was always the hardest class. And I can only kind of speak it if I'm immersed in it for a while. Like if I visit my fiance's family in Mexico, they live in Sinaloa, Mexico, and if I'm there for a while, like for a few days, it's a lot easier, but it's still slow, and it's hard for me to hear. It's easier for me to speak, but Spanish just always sounds way too fast for me to follow. I can kind of pick up bits and bits and sort of make out what's being talked about, but it's easier for me to try to speak it and harder for me to listen to it, I'd say. All right, guys. Well, I'm probably gonna. Oh, I don't know. There's been lots of other outbreaks in the past too, so maybe this is just another one of those periods of time. It looks like something like this happens almost every 100 years. I mean, there was the Spanish flu, and there was 100 years before that. It's kind of just like a cyclical sort of thing. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Just let me know if you have any questions or anything through Remind or through email. And yeah, so we'll have a quiz Monday. That's probably all we're going to do on Monday. I'm not going to give any other sort of assignment or anything like that. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well. See you later. Let me go ahead and end this.